Welcome to the freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing. Oh, hey folks, dude here yet again. And if dog acts up, dog's gonna get talking to. Anyway, looking at things as it is, we find ourselves now seeing things being what they are with the standard, leftist news guys being catty, guardedly catty, shall we say. And we're seeing the population of potential, those opportunistic kind of people who are seeing a chance to jump on board kind of shutting their traps. So anyway, what we're looking at here is, of course, the second iteration of a Donald Trump administration, and they're completely losing their fakaka duty brains. I mean, there's no other way to say it except for saying what's going on, and they are losing it, and that's being generically nice about it. I mean, but they are flipping losing their bloody damn minds. And can't say that it doesn't deserve that. Well, they pretty much held out the notion that there's no way in the world that anybody can vote for him a second time. This, that, and the other thing, blah, 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 blah. Kamala is so invincible. No. And no, I mean, it was easy to say that essentially Kamala yeah. I mean, what else could you say about that one other than, well,
and thing sucks.
Okay, I wouldn't have said it like that, but dealing with somebody who politically is about as good as okay, we can use the caca now, okay? Joe Caca is okay, Joe Caca is heading out the door. The name is okay, so anyway, Caca is okay, so anyway, Caca is heading out the door.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
The name is okay, I would almost give him that one. Okay, that actually wasn't quite so bad as some of the ones that he generates. Okay, sure, yeah. Whoa, splat. Yeah, okay, fine. You got that one. Okay, don't get carried away. Sound guy, stop, okay? No, stop. No, stop. Just dickhead. Yeah, you're right. You're tending into dickhead status, okay? Don't do that. Or, well, potentially
Deuce new.
You're in the jailhouse now. Right, exactly, okay?
Deuce new.
No snoo for you. No snoo at all. Let's see this, that, and the other thing. No, I'm not gonna do that one. Nope. Just rideshare things coming up. Speaking of rideshare things coming up, This is what? Okay, this one's gonna be something from my formerly nicotine stained fingers. Anyway, what it was is obviously this is the cheap route. The expensive route is like $3,200 in automotive excess. The big print giveth, the small print taketh away, and all that good stuff like that there. I was getting a message on the inbox on my Uber app, obviously the Uber driver app, and they were saying that my vehicle required a inspection. Now, to do Uber in the state of my fun little state of the People's Republic, the People's Bundesrepublik der Maryland, we are required to do a yearly vehicle inspection to maintain self status to make sure that it's not
Death by snoo snoo.
sound guy. No, it would not be death by snoo snoo. Okay, no, it would not be death by snoo snoo. All right, no, it would not be anything along those lines. It would simply be just the car was being operated in no, not meow. The car would be operated in unsafe status, so potentially the driver could be placing the passengers in a situation where they might find themselves in.
Shut up, fucking.
Sound guy, no, okay, no. Potentially the car was going to be operated in a situation where
Come with me if you want.
come with me if you want to gobble. Okay. Anyway,
Uh-oh.
sound guy, what are you doing?
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
Use the force, Luke.
Okay, I don't know where he's going with this one. Anyway, to operate in my state, there's a yearly inspection that needs to be placed on the vehicle to maintain itself in a correct and operable status. So it's not like the car is driving down the road and sound guy. No, the vehicle would be stop. No X-Files. Okay, that would be right. Exactly. So they're saying that the vehicle needs to be operable in a safe condition, able to pass a Maryland state inspection. Just give me 1 second. I need a swig of Tiggy juice after all that mess. Anyway, so the long and the short essentially is to do the Maryland state inspection. It is literally the very same state inspection that's performed on a vehicle before it is sold at, and then, well, either a private sale or done as a vehicle sale, as a used vehicle from a dealership or from a private individual. It needs to maintain itself in good status, and it has a Maryland state inspection showing that all the the suspension parts are safe, the brake parts are safe, the seat belts work, obviously the signals work, obviously the lights work, the horn works. The car operates safely. It does stop. It does everything that it needs to do to be operated safely on the major roadways, secondary roadways too. But to be operated on the roadways, the vehicle needs to be in such status. And they perform a state inspection. Well, the grocery list that they found for my car is not huge, but it is stuff that I knew stuff was coming down the pike. I do put a lot of mileage on my vehicle, and it's not abused, but it is still wear and tear. So looking at the they were like, well, sure, we'd be glad to help you, dude, but it's going to be, well, parts, obviously. You start talking about dealership parts, it's not quack. No, so you start talking about dealership parts. Sound guy, no. Sound guy, you're being,
You sick little monkey.
Okay, I don't know what he's been drinking, but whatever he's been drinking, it is making him just yeah, that is making him do that. Ew. Anyway, so to basically pass the state inspection, the vehicle has to be done, in proper spec. It needs to have everything in a correct status. Stuff that's worn out needs to be changed. Obviously, tires, brakes, suspension parts, lighting, safety equipment, all that stuff needs to work. Well, the grocery list of things that they found, while not exactly extensive, it is wear and tear parts that you're going to encounter on an older vehicle, and some of the stuff is just kind of just annoying. Obviously, suspension parts, obviously like engine mounts. Front drive vehicles wear out their engine mounts. All-wheel drive vehicles really beat up their engine mounts because it's not like you basically get on the gas and you break traction. All-wheel drive vehicles, all four wheels locked down, so the car really just it hooks and it takes off. Well, all that torque transfer going to the wheels feeds back into the engine, having a good torque transfer. It beats up the motor mounts. It's wear and tear stuff. There is new brakes on the vehicle. I mean, literally brand new brakes. I just had those put on. So brand new OEM brake shoes, because I do, or brake pads. I do not go aftermarket with brake pads. The pedal feels like crap. They don't stop as good, and it's not a consistent thing that was like the previous to the current. Trust me on that one. I tend to actually trust my car somewhat like the way that BMW does their vehicles. In BMW, the brake pads and the rotors are wear items. That's why there's actually like little sensors on the brake pads to go, oh, I'm getting close. Okay, I'm now worn out. Change me. And there's a little light that comes on the dashboard to say, change out your brake pads. They are within a wear limit where you need to fix them ASAP. Not like it's going to be grinding metal on metal, but just it's now reached the specification where we say they are tired and they need to be changed. So I tend to treat it like the BMW does. I use factory pads, literally like Honda products, but the brake rotors, because I consider them expendable, I do not cut the rotors. They are expendable. There are wear items on the car that need to be replaced, and those are the brake rotors. I'm not going to say, well, take them off, try to remove all the wavy stuff, try to get them true again because they've warped. Well, they've warped because they've been through enough heat cycles that obviously the metal has gotten not happy. Pitch it. Start from new. So that's literally what I do is I get rid of the old rotors, the old pads, put on new pads, new rotors, go from there. In terms of suspension stuff, I'm going to go factory. I mean, that obviously you can go aftermarket and, you can add on like, what they refer to as loaded struts. So in other words, that is a strut that has a spring on it already. It's all in one big component. They unbolt the old strut, throw that in the trash can, bolt on the new strut. It's been my experience that every time that you get a loaded strut, the spring is wrong. And I do mean like way wrong. It's way stiff or it's too tall and it makes the car either do a weird stance or it rides like absolute caca. Trust me in this one. Patriot Fever calling in from the Patriots sick ward, officially calling in the exorcist tomorrow. Welcome to the vomitorium. So I do change out those parts, and obviously because I have to do the yearly inspection, that is what I have to utilize in doing such things. I'm simply going to use the factory stuff. I know what it's going to be doing. I know how the car is going to be reacting. Nothing's really going to change other than it's going to be new parts and it'll do, air quotes, better. Excuse me 1 second here. Okay, now to go fully circular here, you all are probably going, hey, dude, why are you talking to Maryland State Inspection? Well, mostly because in my inbox on my Uber app, it was saying, you owe us a state inspection. To which I was saying, oh, Okay, I'll do a state inspection. Well, maybe if I have to, sure, I'll do a state inspection. But I didn't think I had to do a state inspection, so I literally put out the coin and did a state inspection. Found out all these things I need to address. That now I know by driving a vehicle what's starting to feel janky. Something doesn't really sound right. Something doesn't really feel right. Is the vehicle unsafe? No, but I do notice that things have changed. Obviously, stuff is worn out. They need to be utilized to their lifespan and expended and thusly turned into old trash to new parts. So then I'm like, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right here. Because then I looked at it yet again, and it's like that act of you need to be state inspected. It just went whoop. And it's like, wait a minute. And I went scrolling through my inbox, and it's like, notice state inspection. Your state inspection will be expiring. You need to get a new state inspection. Okay, that's all fine and good, but why aren't you asking me for a state inspection any longer? At that point, I'm like, you know what? Beep, help button. Got a hold of a live person, was like, okay, here's the deal. You guys have been asking me for a state inspection. What is my bleeping status? So that's that one right there. My status was what my status should have been. And why did it go one way or the other? Because that Fakaka duty thing was all lit up and then it went bye-bye. No, sound guy. No. It was blanking annoying, okay? It was just a...
You cock juggling thunder.
Well, I don't know about that. No. Nice try. But anyway, and it was asking for a state inspection. Then it said, you don't need to do a state inspection. It's like, what the heck is going on here? Yeah, it was very... It was very clank. Okay, sure. Thanks, sound guy. Thank you so much for putting that one into perspective. You just made it just a...
Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Munders.
Sure. Anyway, so I'm now in the realm of not needing the state inspection until June. So that breathing room is hugely appreciated. Anyway, so let me get to the mix and the beginning of the beginning and all the rest of the good news stuff and, ribald ragging on justifiably needy people. Speaking of justifiably needy people needing ragging on, wow, this one is absolutely suckatudinous. This coming in from Reuters. Capital One, of which I happen to have a couple of accounts with them, is being sued by the U.S. Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. For avoiding billions in interest payments. Oopsie. Yeah, translation, people were earning interest and they cheated them out of their duly owed interest payments. So how did that one work? Oh, it gets cute, folks. So Capital One was sued on Tuesday by the U.S. Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, which accused the bank of illegally cheating customers, which held its flagship, quote-unquote, high-interest savings account out of more than $2 billion in interest payments. See you in a second here. In a complaint filed in Alexandria, Virginia, in their federal court, I'm just going to say the acronym of it. The CFPB said Capital One promised depositors that their 360 savings account provided one of the nation's quote-unquote top, quote-unquote best, quote-unquote highest interest rates, but froze the rate at just 0.30%, even as deposit rates rose nationwide. So, a third of a percent. What absolute princes. A third of a percent of interest. So, if you got $100, you made 30 cents. Yeah, 30 cents. So the CFPB also said that Capital One kept 360 savings depositors in the dark when in 2019 it launched the 360 Performance Savings Account, which was identical except for carrying a significantly higher interest rate that reached 4.35% in January 2024. So, 4.05% higher interest. Capital One allegedly told bank employees not to proactively tell depositors they could switch accounts or send depositors to the bank accounts conversion unit unless they asked whether the conversions were allowed. Stupid F-chucking question. How would you know that it was offered unless the bank was like, hey, by the way, there's this, that, and the other thing. If you look really hard, we'll give you more interest. Did they even say that? No, they didn't even bother to say that. They simply said, we're not going to say that. Yeah. The best part about it is, quote, the bank should not be baiting people with promises they can't live up to, CFPB Director Rohit Chopra said in a statement. The CFPB said Capital One stopped offering 360 savings to new customers when it introduced the 360 Performance Savings, which now yields 3.8% annually, according to the bank's website. So, less. Tuesday's lawsuit seeks civil fines, restitution, and other remedies for violations of the Consumer Financial Protection Act of 2010 and the Truth in Savings Act. Oh, you guys are going to get, sound guy, how would you say this justifiably? You guys are going to get more than a little bit of, yes. Yeah, you are just going to get,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Dick ding. Dick ding. Anyway, so those guys playing that game, it is not going to work out for them. Way bad. It is how else could you say it except for retard alert.
You dick!
Yeah. they are not making friends. Trust me on this one, man. It is bad brother. Yeah, it's just not good. So anyway, it's gonna come out to be that okay, I don't know, it's gonna be Dookie. Quote, we are deeply disappointed the CFPB continue its recent pattern of filing 11th hour lawsuits ahead of a change in administration, Capital One said in a statement. Oh, please. You guys are pissing and moaning because Trump's coming in and you think it's too late in the game? Really? Really? How about the fact that you might actually be guilty of playing this stupid stuff and you could get held up and financially boned? We strongly disagree with their claims and will vigorously defend ourselves in court. Now, you guys, So the McLean, Virginia-based bank, and you can see that thing. Trust me, I see their building every single time I drive across the roadway, also known as the access road, to go from the Capitol Beltway to Dulles Airport. I see the Capital One building. You, and I really want to curse here, but you fathers really can afford to be boned. Playing this kind of game on your people, you can afford it big time. See you in 1 second here. Snoo Smurf. Okay, I don't get that one Patriot Fever, but sure. He said Snoo Smurf. And Smurfs don't make, well, Smurfs just say Smurf all the time. Hey, did you Smurf that girl? Oh man, I Smurfed the Smurf out of her. Yeah. We Smurfed each other so Smurfing hard that yeah, it's kind of one of those deals. So Capital One is the largest U.S. banks and credit card companies with, I think they can afford this, $3.5.6 billion of deposits and $4.86.4 billion of assets as of September 30th, 2024. I think they need to pay out a couple $1 billion and really kind of make it hurt. So a July 2025 trial in private nationwide litigation over the 360 savings accounts has been scheduled in an Alexandria court. Oh, you guys are going to get just sound guy. What do you think they're going to get? Are they going to get something more than a little bit of oh no, they're going to get yeah, they're going to get it, okay? They're going to get it. They're going to get it. They're going to get
Blow it out your ass.
They're going to get it. Okay, you're jumping all kinds of soundtracks here. Anyway, so I think they're going to get hosed. I don't think they're going to win this one. And trying to play this stupid little game, that's just not going to fly, man. It's just bad. In a research note, TD Cowen analyst Jarrett Seiberg said the CFPB lawsuit should not affect Capital One's proposed $35.3 billion purchase of credit card rival Discover Financial Services. Man, I'd be all over that thing saying, you know what, Thor's hammer, you are not, well, you're not worthy. You're not worthy. It's bad juju. These guys playing these kind of, little foo-foo games, they need to make it hurt. Bad. I mean, really bad. They need to make it so that these financial institutions go, yeah, that wasn't such a smart idea. We're not going to do that one again. Yeah, don't do that one, okay? Just don't. Let's see. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys caught this one or not, but this one was absolutely epic, and I cannot do this justice. There was a GOP senator being sworn in. Cap One done snoo themselves. Yeah, I think it's definitely a bad case of snoo. Wee! Yeah, death by wee! Yeah, death by snoo. Anyway, so look at things as it is. See 1 second here. Just work stuff popping up. There was a GOP senator who was being sworn in. So, new Republican Senator Deborah Fisher, so Republican of Nebraska, was being sworn in by Kamala. Now, I got a picture the scene for you guys because it's obviously one of those videos I probably shouldn't play because, my YouTube might be, obnoxious about it. But anyway, so you have the person standing in front of Kamala. Kamala's there. Over Kamala's right shoulder is the new senator's or proposed senator's husband. He's the one that's holding the Bible as she places her hand on it. I swear to affirm to defend the Constitution of these United States. Then Kamala's like, oh, congratulations, and reaches out, shakes her hand, right? So they shake hands. Then she turns to the husband, and she's like, and he's like, not having it. He goes, thank you. She's like, okay. I meant to do that. Yeah, he absolutely blew her off. And I cannot begin to tell you how funny it was, but the video alone is absolutely hilarious. So she served in office and has met Harris countless times past 4 years, this, that, and the other thing. So basically, she was being sworn in as, I guess, a new term. She gets sworn in yet again. But anyway, needless to say, the video was absolutely epic. And it's like, everybody's now like, well, protect this man at all costs. Don't let anything bad happen to him because, something horrific could be following him because he kind of blew off, like their patron saint. Ouch. Brutal. Just flipping brutal. Anyway, let me go back to the news spec here. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not, but there was a very recent Joe Rogan podcast where Mark Zuckerberg was seated there and he was across from, Joe Rogan, and they were riffing back and forth. And I literally listened to it for maybe about 5 minutes, and I was like, I am tapping out of this, man. This is one of these people that you just cannot listen to with all his swarmy little disgusting, call it what you wills. I mean, Zuckerberg, oh, my stars and garters, just ew. There's no other way to say it other than the guy is just
Ew!
okay. That sounds about right. Yeah, thanks, sound guy. Yeah, truly, the guy is just ew. I mean, that's all I could say about him. He is just ew. Absolutely ew. And, he tries to come across as like, I'm just over here running a company and there's things that go outside my normal control because, well, it's just hard to run a company this big. If there was ever a time I really wanted to curse, it is right now. Mark Zuckerberg, you have a mouthful of hit, and you're trying to say it smells like roses. You, no, sound guy. No. We need more. I think that's him trying to explain his position and saying there's no way in the world that anybody could see the situation for what it was and understand from outside how hard it is to run such a large company because, well, there is a lot of people doing things. Yeah. Just a large, stinking, nasty, hairy pile of dookie producing Bravo Sierra. You are that guy. Anyway, so the reason being why I'm even getting into this stuff is the lying, control freak, creepy liberal a-hole is now saying that, oh yeah, there's going to be less censorship on Facebook as he scraps the biased third-party fact checkers. Could it be maybe word's gotten out as who actually funded the fact checkers? Is that maybe what you're afraid of there, Marky Poo? Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Is now it's gotten out as to actually who funded the fact checkers. You and your $400 million thrown against the presidential campaign to try to ensure that Trump loses. You dookie smelling pile of bovine excrement. And I'm trying very hard to stay clear here. Excuse me. Of putting out anything that is considered beyond the pale. You, sir, are that stinking, hairy, nasty pile of bovine excrement. Wow. Speaking of somebody who's a large, stinking, hairy pile of bovine excrement, or actually you could say probably the guy is just a whiny little, how would you say it, sound guy? Yeah, he's just a POC. Yeah. Well, I know now who the half a man was in the TV show 2.5 Men. So Short Pecker here was a whiny little crybaby even then. And what a perfect little name for a crybaby like him in his liberal mindset. Jon Cryer. Dude, you utterly stinking, hairy little pile of bovine excrement. Coming in from Breitbart.com, actor Jon Cryer says Kamala Harris lost the election because, dun dun dun, Americans hate black women. You utterly superficial pile of monkey puke. And I'm really trying to stay clean here. So Hollywood actor John Cryer, who referred to himself as, quote, somewhat stupidly woke. Now you are unabashedly woke, you dirtbag. Told Bill Maher that Vice President Kamala lost the 2024 election to President-elect Donald Trump because Americans hate black women. Quote, they hate inflation, they hate riots, and they hate black women, and they hate trans people, Cryer said of Americans, explaining he believes why Harris lost the 2024 presidential election. Could it be that she was a complete and total dullard who can't string together 5 words in a sentence that's even somewhat sensible? No. Could it be the fact that she had to wear earrings that were actually telling her what to say? No. Could it be that she was utterly corrupted by the fact that she was pretty much a, sex worker to get into mainstream politics? Or could it be maybe the fact that she is just an absolute blanking dullard? Do you think any of that has anything to do with any part of it, John? No. It's the fact she's black. John, I got bad news for you. If you look at the family portraits, they're not black. Okay? They are Indian, which makes them Asiatic, which makes them east of Russia, east of China, in that whole general area there where it's part of the Orient. It's part of the Asia continental area. They are not black. They are so far away from Africa that if you go any further away from India, you're taking a swim in the ocean, okay? So don't even try that one, John. People that know basic geography know that Indians, while they might have dark skin tone because of where they live is blanking hot, they are not black. They are Indian. Kamala Harris is Indian. She's not black, John. Not in the slightest. As a matter of fact, the New York Times, before they switched the story up and said she's the first African-American elected as vice president of the United States, said she was the first Indian elected to higher office previous to that, serving in her potentially stupid vocational aspirations and bad executions. Just give me 1 second here. You said first, New York Times, she was the first Indian. Then you said she was the first black person. She's the first African-American, the first woman of color, the first black person elected to such a high office. Make up your mind. Is she Indian or is she black? Because you said one, then you said the other. It might be a slight conflict in terms, nouns, and phrases, but no. No. You guys said it expressly. You said it first, New York Times. She's the first Indian. Then you said when it was politically convenient to go, well, she was the first African-American. Make up your mind. She's either one or the other. Which one is it? And I tend to think because of primary versus secondary, you said she was Indian first. So she is not black. She's Indian. Nice try, New York Times. Nice try. Remember what I always said about, stuff that you put on the internet? Don't do it because there is no delete button. Somebody's going to save a copy somewhere. Yeah, New York Times, you put that out there first and foremost. So going back to what John said. So Maher rebutted, they don't hate black, but was cut off by Cryer, who is claiming that Republicans spent millions of dollars dehumanizing trans people. Hey, John, pick your battles. Are you talking about trans people, black people, or Indian people saying that they're black people? Pick one. Do us a favor. Pick your poison. You whiny little leftard California butt puke. We shouldn't talk politics, Maher replied, to which the actor who was perhaps best known for portraying Alan Harper on 2.5 Men responded, okay, we shouldn't. Great, we don't have to. Ugh. You whiny tertiary. You know what the biggest claim to fame for this guy is the fact that he had a show that was on TV for a long enough time to be in way residuals for him. He's going to be making plenty of money as that thing is into perpetuity, being reshown, and he's going to be making plenty of money with just that alone. He doesn't need to work again. Unfortunately, because of, well, that whole insecurity thing that a lot of these actor guys have, if they're not on TV or they're not there out there positing their notion of why my opinion is so much stronger than your opinion because I'm famous, they cannot stand to be just looking at themselves in the mirror going, I should be out there. I should be making myself more known to the public as knowing these things, doing these things, and showing these things and making my cause just. Buddy, I would love to get in a pit sometime with you and rip you an entire new one, just like simply ripping your stupidity apart. But if you're having to cut over John Maher, that's really saying something, because Maher was actually being polite, going, okay, we don't need to talk about politics. Let's talk about something else. And then he goes, well, the rest of my life is pretty much not existent. I'm on this other TV show playing something or other that nobody else really truly ever watches now because, oh yeah, I had my 5 minutes of actual fame. Or 15 minutes of fame. Call it what you will. Previous to that, his notoriety was being in a John Hughes film back in like the early 80s. Pretty in Pink, I think it was, where he played, air quotes, Ducky. Yeah, that was your claim to fame there, John. You are at best, a second-run actor who got propped up by a producer who is hugely leftist. You know, the guy that actually did 2.5 Men and did the other shows that he did afterwards, hugely leftist. As a matter of fact, so much so that when you watch those shows, as it has like the ending credits, there's like about a 2.5 second or a 5 second page of like his little dissertation of how he's feeling about things that day and the liberal leftist causes that he finds to be so completely absolutely above board that nobody could challenge him on them. Dude, if you believed in it so much, you wouldn't be taking that thing and just posting it up for 5 seconds. You'd be putting it on someplace where it literally was posted on like your Facebook, on your Instagram, on some other place that puts those things up there into perpetuity. Now, humorously enough, because it's online and it's obviously on some other streaming services and whatnot, people would still shot that, grab a screenshot, post it up line so people can see and read his idiocy for themselves. And I actually have read a couple of those end note things, and it's the most rambling leftist blathering diatribe of idiotic notions and bad execution you would ever want to shake a stick at. That guy is putting out that kind of balderdash and thinking everybody's just going to go, you're so brave. You're so courageous. You put it out there for all to see. Oh, yeah. Kind of like that whole butt-sucking thing that they all do at any of the major awards, Grammys, Emmys, Ramus, whatever they call the stupid things, all those dumbass award shows where they all sit around and basically jack each other and pump each other up. And the rest of the public goes, I don't get it, man. That whatever it is that you're throwing awards at right now sucked. Nobody watched it. And it's only some of these like tangential things that only you guys in the Novu groups would actually get into. It's really kind of almost like a cult. Now, that's about the easiest way to describe like the Hollywood things. They're basically like a cult. It's a group of a cult of personality, to use the Living Color phrase. They're a cult of personality that really truly doesn't show any great thing outside of those half hour, 1 hour, or 2 hour interludes where they basically have you in air quotes rapt attention. I got to tell you, a lot of times when I basically see something and it's supposedly one of these entertainment gems of something or other, if I get into it and it basically is like insulting to my intelligence, I'm out of there. I literally have no reason whatsoever to further inculcate myself with the complete total leftardisms of the Democrat, socialist, progressive side of the aisle. I have no reason to further marinate my brain in that idiocy. And so many is the time that now I turn something on and it's like, you know what? I'm not getting it, man. This is lame. And I bail. There's no reason in the world why I should waste my valuable time basically being programmed to be stupid by these people. And I bail. I just leave. There's no reason to get stuck in that biosphere of just idiocy. It's just bad juju. Scrolly. This one I think is absolutely hilarious. This is one of these things where you basically have somebody that thinks he's dragging around a set of bowling balls, and he's pretty much got a couple of BBs. But this truly, well, beyond the fact that it was a physical impossibility, but it truly had me just chuckling to peruse. So this one coming in from truthpress.com. And this guy, I gotta clean it up for mainstream audiences, but this fucking guy, and I'm saying Fugging, this fucking guy, this fucking guy, a top Canadian politician threatens to annex 2 American states. This is too funny here. So I said essentially, yeah, you and what army? What, you going to nice us into surrender? So the saga of Donald Trump's threats to take over Canada escalated as an Ontario politician floated a counteroffer to buy 2 U.S. states. Dude, I got a sale price for you. Take California, take New York, okay? Both of them, just one fell swoop, buy them outright, bring them home, make them your buddies, make them all Canadian citizens, okay? What we're going to do then is put up border walls so they can't escape from Kanakistan, okay? They have to stay on your side of the fence. New York, California, all you, brother, enjoy. So this guy threatened to take him over. While Trump's idea of Canada becoming the 51st state largely seen as a major troll, the president-elect seems to be getting more and more serious about the idea after Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced on Monday he's resigning as the country's leader. Why? Because he sucks. Trump credited himself with the move and noted people in Canada love the idea of being a state. In response to Trump's threats, Canadian Premier Doug Ford suggested that Canada should actually absorb at least 2 U.S. states. Dude, please try this. Something to the president will make him a counteroffer. How about if we buy Alaska and you throw in Minnesota and Minneapolis at the same time? He told reporters at the threat of looming U.S. tariffs and Trudeau's resignation announcement. He told CNN later on Monday he was joking with his comments. Yeah, because you got your ass handed to you, dumbass. That is how that one works. Yeah, you're going to take over Alaska? Yeah, Minnesota and Minneapolis. Sure. Right. Yeah, you're going to take over those 2 states. Really? Yeah. I think what happened was they basically took him in the back room and was like, you know what? You're going to get a little something, okay? You're going to get a little something that you really, truly don't like. You are going to get...
You're in the jailhouse now.
Yeah, that's exactly what you got, buddy. You got more than a little bit of your handed to you. Oh, you got a like you didn't want to know. That's why you shut up and knuckle down and shut up your male implement holster, also known as your yap. Okay? Yeah. This one I think is absolutely hilarious. This is one of those ones that you hear about and you know that this person was thinking politically, but they weren't thinking logically. This is one of those states you probably should never, ever, ever play this game. Why? Because this is not going to work out for you. Truthpress.com. So there's a trans activist. Read like a guy who dresses up as a girl, but a trans activist brags about exploiting a quote-unquote loophole to change gender on a Florida license, but immediately regretted it. So, in a self-congratulatory TikTok post, transgender activist James Rose recently boasted about exploiting a loophole to change the sex listed on his Florida driver's license to female, despite state legislation which explicitly prohibits such alterations. So Rose's celebratory moment, however, is short-lived as the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles swiftly corrected the error and issued a replacement license identifying Rose as a male. Now, why did this even work? Well, because this is the part that is really blanking sketch. So they implemented a policy to prohibiting transgender residents from updating their gender markers on their driver's license to reflect their gender identity. Why? Because Florida is basically a conservative state. They don't play that game. So biological male identifies as female, posted a video claiming to have successfully bypassed Florida's strict regulations. The activist gleefully announced his driver's license now displayed female as a sex marker. Well, here's the thing. The way he did it was he used his passport, and it's considered a primary document, which means you can self-identify on your passport, which means the loophole, you can self-identify on your Florida driver's license. So my passport says I'm female. I showed it to them. We made a bunch of copies. So the whole team meeting in the bank, they were 8 people looking at it, looking at me, looking back, and I swear it was like they're going to cry. So humiliating sometimes being in a hostile state. If you live in a hostile state, you know what I'm talking about. You probably should just move, dude. So anyway, the guy basically tried that stuff. They found out about it, and they were like, oh, no, you didn't. Yeah, so basically they issued an official letter to Rose and validated an officer's license and reinstating the official designation as male. So the letter clarified that Florida's law requires driver's licenses to reflect the individual's biological sex as determining as innate and immutable biological and genetic characteristics, not gender identity. The latter further stated that Rose's public comments had been instrumental in bringing the error to the department's attention. Translation, if you're going to do something like this, STFU, okay? Don't get snarky, because as soon as you get snarky, it's like that delete button on the internet. People will find out about it, and oh yeah, you got a slap in the poo-poo. You are a moron. I'm going to show you how to make this thing work. Just this, that, and the other thing. Ugh. Speaking of things going horrifically, terribly, completely, and absolutely, really, really wrong. Just give me 1 second here. Looking at things as it is, I truly don't have to worry now about the
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection. Fact check.
Oh, no. We can simply talk freely now about the
Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Yeah, so the mRNA.
The Chinese Communist COVID viral infection.
Shot. We're talking about the
Clot shot.
That's right, the clot shot. And we don't have to worry about
Fact check.
Nope, no more of that. We're now done with all that. Bravo, Sierra. So anyway, this is the really horrendously crazy side effects. So, a 19-year-old woman who was previously healthy with no notable medical history. Get that part. So, she was fine. There was nothing going on. Everything was working great. What happened? She basically had an issue. What did they do to her? Well, she got the clot shot and experienced rapid breast enlargement just 1 week after receiving her first dose of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine in September 2022. Okay, sound guy, no. Okay, we're looking at a poor girl that has a problem with her. Okay, I'm sure it didn't go pop, okay? Wait. So she got these things and she got the second dose, but her breast size dramatically increased from a B cup to a triple G over 6 months. Now, without getting entirely too completely, absolutely ridiculously graphic, I got 3 sisters, okay? I know how to look at a chick and go, oh, that's a so-and-so cup size, and it looks like that you are fairly small chested, fairly large chested, and your cup size would be such. I'm really good at judging, female secondary characteristics simply by sight alone as to sizing. Not that's to say I'm like walking around going, oh yeah, you're a XYZ and you're this, that, the other thing, those are I don't do that, okay? But I can judge pretty much what they look like, okay? So put in perspective, a B cup is roughly, I would say, maybe slightly smaller than like what would fit inside like a champagne glass, okay? So not huge, not tiny, but okay, adequate. Not bad. All right. She would look cute in a swimsuit. All right. They're not huge. They're not completely bye. She looks adequate. Okay. Normal, healthy, fine. Right. Triple G, she's encroaching on possibly cantaloupe, like large cantaloupe, possibly going into small watermelon, possibly going into maybe these things are probably weighing like at least 9 to 10 pounds each. Wow. This poor thing is now honking around with a backpack on her front like she didn't need to ever have, but dang, just dang. That is absolutely beyond the pale horrific. This one coming in, and this is absolutely something that needs to have happen. Please, if anybody really truly needs to get rid of any agency in the federal government, I would say this is the one. If you're going to basically knock down any of them, take down the AFT. Okay, actually, the BATF. So Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Why? Because, well, first and foremost, they are redundant. They are utilizing the investigation side of the federal government on the FBI, but they say that they're enforcing firearms laws. One of these things really doesn't have much to do with the other. But anyway, so there now legislation has been introduced by Representative Lauren Boebert, Republican from Colorado, has introduced a bill to abolish the BATF. The Abolish the ATF Act, H.R. 129, would shutter the government agency that is responsible for regulating alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Translation, they're a treasury device. The ATF was founded in 1866 as a regulatory laboratory under the Treasury Department's Bureau of Internal Revenue. But then it got switched around. It was made an independent agency of the Treasury Department in 1927. In 1930, the ATF was transferred to the Department of Justice before being transferred back to the Treasury Department in 1933 and became the Alcohol Tax Unit. Remember when they actually had that constitutional amendment when they banned alcohol? Then, they said, let's unban alcohol because prohibition didn't work. Yeah. So they were the guys who were basically the barrel busters, the bully boys, taking away that, that rot gut hooch from everybody else. And if they were stupid enough to go in the hills and challenge the hillbillies, they sometimes didn't make it back down the hill because they were the revenuers or the revenue guys seeking to get tax money for illicit alcohol production. Those were the revenuers. So she's trying to ban it. And the worst case about it is it's not a good agency. So in the 1950s, Bureau of Internal Revenue became the Internal Revenue Service. The ATU was renamed the Alcohol, Tobacco, Tax Division. In 1968, after Congress passed the Gun Control Act, GCA, the agency's name was changed to the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Division of the IRS and was first referred to as the ATF in 1972. The ATF, once again, was established as an independent bureau within the Treasury Department. The name was changed to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. So the Homeland Security Act in 2002, the law shifted the ATF back to the Justice Department. 2003, ATF changed its name to Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, although it would still be referred to as the ATF. Taxation portion of the agency moved to the newly formed Alcohol and Tobacco Tax and Trade Bureau, leaving the majority of the ATF's mission to regulate firearms. That's kind of not really their job because they don't regulate. They enforce. They do not cut law because they are not elected officials. They are, excuse me, Thor's hammer, bureaucrats. At best, they're bureaucrats with firearms, and they truly have no good reason to enforce gun laws because mostly they're a bunch of inept bubbas. And I do mean bubbas as in the worst possible sense, not like honoring like, hillbillies and those people in Appalachia. I'm talking about bubbas as in morons with firearms who really truly don't know what the F chuck they're doing. And those guys popping each other in the knees, it's kind of pretty much a standard course because they're idiots. I am not impressed with them in the slightest, and they are idiots. I don't know if you guys saw this one or not, but I was looking on my phone one day, and I actually was looking on something YouTube related. An ad popped up on YouTube, and it's these two kind of creepy-looking hipster people standing next to each other, going, "Hey, this is really a cute pose. Hey, we're having a fun moment." And it says, "Connect with your Facebook community from Meta. Learn more. Discover friends and community. Tap into your friends and Facebook community for inspiration and support." Sponsored. Facebook. Regulated, registered, trademark Facebook font. Ugh. YouTube is YouTube, but a Facebook ad on YouTube? Nah, not creepy. It was on YouTube. No, that's F-chucking creepy, okay? Yuck. Scrolly. I don't know if you guys saw this one or not, but there was actually the pictures posted up of like, there was a satellite picture showing like the fire zone. It's just ridiculous. But then they show a picture of the reservoir in Palisades. It held 117 million gallons of water, but it was offline for previously scheduled maintenance. That's the only thing I'm going to say about this California fire thing was that reservoir that supposedly was only closed for a month for, being worked on has been closed since 2009. They have fires pretty consistently. They know that there's going to be another fire. It's like there's like the running joke about California. They have 2 seasons, fire and mud. That's really all I got to say about that one. But just damn. I saw really something kind of cool, and it was an Instructables. So basically you have the website Instructables.com, and everybody's into doing 3D printing and whatnot. But if you look up online and you do like a really quick Google search, you can find out there's actually people that figured out how to turn standard, regular, old, I guess I could do probably something like this, but like, PET. So basically, plastic bottles, you could turn it into filament to feed into your 3D printer and then turn that into the whatever it is that you wish to make in that venue by not having to buy reels of this stuff, but you're simply repurposing old pop bottles into making that stuff that you need to make with your 3D printer. That's cool. Scrolly. I think that's all I got. Is that it, sound guy? Are we now kind of sort of almost done? Is that what you got there? Could you please take care of business? Please, sound guy. Don't leave that for the next guy, okay? Take care of business. Don't leave that out there. That would just be okay. Zip up your pants, please. I have never understood how he can get Franks and Beans and Franks and Beans. Except he can get Franks and Beans. Oh man. Sound guy, you might need to go to the ER for that one. That one doesn't look good. It really don't. Never mind. All right. On that note, folks, I'm gonna break up on this one. Eat good, keep tendering as always. You know it, you love it. You guys hung out with me on Tuesday. Thank you so much for all your kind attentions. I know you got many other things to do, but you hung out with me, and I truly appreciate your kind attentions. I will catch you guys next week, and I think I'm gonna have to find a pair of pliers and a bolt cutter to get Mr. Zippy Boy undone. Wow. All right, folks, I'm gonna break up on this one. Have a good one. I'll catch you guys next week, and I will see you then. See you guys later. Have a good night, and I will see you next week. Catch you guys. Ernest!